Good morning, my name is Danielle and I'm from CFP Esquimalt. I'm here today to bring you your morning flow. Today we are focusing on twisting and opening up and stretching out your full body to leave you energized to take on for the rest of your day ahead. Please let me know how it goes for you and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Let's do this. We're gonna start today's practice on our backs. So laying on the ground, we're gonna start by shutting our eyes. You can bring either your feet in, knees out, and go into a butterfly shape, or if it feels better on your lower back, you can bring your feet out wide and knees in, placing your hands on your belly. And we're just gonna start this morning's class by starting with some deep breaths. In through the nose and out through the nose. Letting go of the morning you had and really zoning in to the next 35 minutes that is dedicated all for you. I invite you to come up with a one-word intention to repeat throughout this practice. This intention today can be one word, it can be a sentence. One of my favorites I like to use is my confidence inspires others. So whatever intention, I will remind you throughout. Starting to deepen your breath, making the next 4 breaths your biggest breaths you've taken all day. On your next breath, I invite you to flutter your eyes open, bring your knees into your chest, and just massaging your low back, moving your knees in one direction, tracing a big circle on your ceiling. And then once that feels complete, switching directions, massaging your sit bones. Beautiful. We're gonna stretch into those hip flexors. So first things first, left leg comes in, right knee is bent with your foot on the earth. You're just gonna start with some movement into that left hip, moving it out to the side and in. You can pause at any time if something feels like it needs a little bit more love. Beautiful. Once that feels complete, slowly open it wide to the left side, feeling that inner thigh. Finding your breath. And slowly bringing it back to center mindfully. Left leg is going to cross over right, top foot is flexed, coming into your figure 4. From here you can keep your feet on the ground or you can lift up that leg. Feeding those hands underneath that right thigh. Option to push out with that left leg. For me this morning, it doesn't take much to feel this position. My hips are nice and tight. You might feel this into your glutes. Trying to relax that upper body as much as you can. Invitation to shut your eyes or keep a slight gaze. And slowly release. Before we do the other side, just do some ankle rolls with that left ankle. We're going to be working our ankles this morning, so we have to warm them up. Beautiful. Switching sides. Right knee in. Just start with some movement. That hip flexor, slowly drawing that knee into chest. Your left leg is planted on the ground for support. Slowly finding a movement out your right leg, out to the side, opening into that inner thigh. Notice here your left leg might slightly turn out to counterbalance. That's absolutely normal. Pointing into that right toe. And coming into that figure 4 stretch, right leg over left. Stay here if this feels good for you, or feeding those hands underneath that left thigh. Relaxing your upper body. Breathing in, finding that angle which feels juicy in this stretch and twist. Enjoying these slow movements. Stay there. Wonderful. For 3, 2, and 1, slowly come down. We're going to come into a bridge position, but still warming up our ankles. So placing your elbows on the ground with your palms facing in, you're going to come up onto your toes. Your knees your hips are down on the ground at first. Your toes can be either hip width or slightly wider, whatever feels more comfortable for you this morning. From here, you're going to tuck your pelvis under, squeeze into your glutes before bringing those hips up to the sky. From here, you might need to play around. Try to stay high on the tops of your toes, the balls of your feet, squeezing. From here, we're going to strengthen into our glutes and hamstrings by coming halfway down and slowly squeezing up. Coming halfway down and squeezing up. You got it. Strengthen into those ankles. Down and up. Your elbows are on the ground for support. Trying to relax your shoulders away from your ears. Still coming down and up. Let's do 5 more. Squeezing if you're feeling in your lower back. Slowly come down. We're almost there. 2 and 1. Come up and then slowly roll down 1 vertebrae at a time. Beautiful. Release those heels. Bring your knees to chest and rock side to side. Bring your heels up to the sky. Bring your hands behind your ears. We're just going to warm up our core. So bring your head up with your shoulder blades off the ground. Feet are flexed, legs can be bent if needed. We're just going to drop our left leg on a 45-degree angle, turning to that right side with your upper body. Inhale back to center, lifting up that left leg. Right leg drops. Then you're turning to the left side. Bring your left hand over your body into a twist. Inhale, rise. This time fluid motion. Dropping your left leg. Left arm crosses over your body. And back to center. And twist. You got it. We have 1 more on each side. Inhale, center. Left leg drops, left arm crosses your body. Inhale, center, you got it. 1 more side. Drop. And slowly come back down. Release that upper body. And then grabbing behind those quads and rock over. We're just going to rock so much that we're going to be on our sit bones. I'm going to face you so you can see me. Option here, if you want to sit up a little bit taller, roll up your mat slightly. We're coming into Sukhasana, the seated position. I'm going to start this morning with my right leg in front of my left. And you're going to start by rolling your shoulders back and down, finding a nice tall spine. Inhale, rise your palms up. Exhale, twisting over to the left side. Don't force. Listen to your body. Inhale, rise. Exhale, twist. Inhale, rise. Exhale, twist. We have 1 more side. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, forward fold, but we're gonna create and stick with our flat back. So rolling our shoulders back. I'm not able to go very much forward. Still keeping a proud chest, hinging through your hips. Option to stay here, option to walk your hands down, rolling your back. Yogi's choice, whatever feels good in your body today. We'll be here for 3 breaths, opening up into your hips. And slowly rising up, changing your legs. Well, this time left leg in front of right. Option still, fold that mat behind you. Inhale, rise your hands up, maybe looking and gazing at your hands. This time twisting over to the left first. Inhale, rising up. Your head facing the sky. Inhale, rise. Exhale, twist. One more time. Inhale, rise. Exhale, twist. Inhale, rise like your big branches in the trees. Exhale, forward folds. Creating that flat back, rolling your shoulders down, feeling the length from your sit bones all the way to the crown of your head. Breathing into that back body. Option to stay here or yogi's choice, rolling down, rounding your back. We'll be here for 3 breaths. And slowly rising up 1 vertebrae at a time and coming over onto all 4s. From here in this all 4s position, we're just going to do 3 rounds of cat and cow, spreading your hands wide into the ground. Inhale, dropping your belly, looking at the corner of the room. Exhale, pushing it up to the sky, feeling the stretch in that back body. Inhale, dropping your belly. Exhale, pushing out to the sky. 1 more. Inhale, drop. Make it nice and big. Exhale, pushing up. Inhale, drop, and finding that neutral position. So from here, we're going to come into a downward facing dog. If that doesn't feel good in your shoulders today, you can just come into a child's pose, spreading out your knees and coming down to your hips. Or if you like, you can join me by tucking your toes under, lifting your hips up to the sky. Your knees are massively bent. And just walking out your dog, still spreading into your hands, grounding through those hands and still walking out. Feeling the length in your body. Moving with love and mindfulness this morning. Breathing deeply. From here, our right leg, we're going to flow into a plank position. If you were in child's pose, join us here. We're going to lift our right leg up and then bring our right knee in towards our heart center. We're going to hold here for 5, 4, 3. Can you bring it even higher? Pull your shoulder blades away. 2 and 1. Right leg comes in between your hands, dropping your left knee back down. Option to stay tucked under, or you can let it go, rolling your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, rising your hands up. And relaxing your shoulders down your back. Finding strength and stretch in this position, in this low lunge. When you're ready, exhaling, pulling your hands down, pull back into a hamstring stretch. Slight bend in your knee if those hamstrings are tight. I know mine are today. And slowly coming back, bending in that front knee. From here, our left leg is going to turn to the short edge of your mat. You can have your back foot tucked under, and then we're going to slowly rise up, and we're just going to stretch into that inner thigh. So this is almost like a half warrior pose. Our spine is nice and tall and straight. Squeezing and rolling our shoulders so we're in line with that long edge of our mat. Your top arm is pressing into that thigh, feeling that opening. One breath. Your right leg is going to come straight into a gate pose. From here, your left arm comes to the ground, big side body stretch. Option 1 to stay here. Option 2, lean forward and flex into your back foot by lifting it up an inch off the ground. We're gonna lower it and raise it up. Lower and raise. Lower and raise and hold. You got this for 3, 2, 1. Slowly, mindfully make your way to the top of the mat. Coming back to your all fours position. You can come into a downward facing dog or child's pose, yogi's choice. We'll just here for a moment, just a transition. On your next exhale, coming into plank. Moving over to the other side. This time, left leg up, left knee into chest. Because that knee is into heart center, I want you to feel your shoulder blades pull apart, still spreading into your hands. For 3, 2, hello abdominals, 1, left leg in between hands, dropping your back right leg. Option to untuck your toe, rolling your shoulders down your back, gazes forward. Inhale, rising up, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. This powerful pose. Feeling that stretch into your hip flexor. Exhale, hands come to the ground, pull back, hamstring stretch. Flexing at your foot. Your back can be straight or bent, whatever feels better for you in your body today. Exhale, bending in through that front leg. This time coming to the other side. Your right leg is going to kickstand back, coming to the short edge of your mat. For me, it feels better to untuck it. Left palm onto your left knee. And then from here, just move slightly forward. Bending into that inner thigh. Bending into that knee in this half warrior pose. Feeling that strength, that depth. Still tall in your spine. Breathing. Your left leg goes straight. This time right arm comes to the ground. Big stretch over with that left top arm. From here, you can stay in this side body stretch where you can lean slightly forward, flexing into your left leg by lifting it up, finding strength into your glutes. We're going to drop it and lift it up 5 times. Inhale, drop. Exhale, lift. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Yes. 2 more. 1 more. And hold. Dropping your left leg and slowly and mindfully moving your way. Making your way to the top of the mat. Tucking your toes under and coming to have a seat. Untucking your toes, stretching into your feet. We're going to warm up our chest, this time opening up into a cactus position. Maybe bring your heart center into the corner of the room. On your next exhale, your right hand is going to cross under your left. Option to grab onto opposite elbows, or you can do the backs of your hand. Or if it's accessible, you can twist into your eagle arms. From here, you can tuck your chin to your chest, feeling your elbows rise up and lower. Moving about an inch up or down. Feeling those shoulder blades pull apart from one another. Breathing. On your next inhale, open up. Open that chest and slowly make your way to the other side. Left arm underneath right, finding once or twice. Right away, tucking your chin down, feeling the length in the back of your neck. Option to draw those elbows up and down an inch. Almost there, still stretching into the tops of your feet, giving them love. Inhale, open up your arms wide, and release. Come forward and hit the tops of your feet. Tucking your toes under, finding your plank position. Slowly stepping forward, right leg, and then left leg. Your legs are hip width apart, bending at your knees, grabbing opposite elbows, rocking side to side. Like your trunk of an elephant. When you're ready, grounding into your feet, slowly rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Rolling your shoulders once you make it to the top. From here, we're gonna come into a side bend. I'm gonna face you. So placing your right hand onto your waist, left arm is gonna come up and over. This side body stretch, you're gonna feel it into that left side. If you already feel it enough, stay here. Option to your right leg to point out and push a little bit more into that left hip. This half moon, this half shape. Slowly coming out. Amazing. Other side. Left hip. Right arm reaches up and over. Breathing. From here, if you did it on the other side, your left leg comes out, pointing the toe, pressing out your right hip even more. Still keeping your chest so it's in line like you're a slice of toast. Inhale, rising, slowly coming up. Let's warm up our core, so standing on all fours of your feet. Inhale, rise your hands up. Exhale, twist over to the left side, open up into a T. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale to the center. Exhale, twist to the left. Your gaze is coming with a twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. One more each side. Exhale, left. Nice strong arms here, still grounding into the ground. Inhale, center, and release those hands. This time, lifting your left leg up, grasping behind that calf. From here, you can pull that knee in. Your right hand is going to stay onto that calf, and coming into that twist, left arm opens up to the side. Your core has been prepped, it's been primed. Balance changes daily. Yet supporting leg. Think about untucking your toes, relaxing that foot on the ground. Your gaze can be wherever feels good for you today. Holding. And slowly coming back to center. This time your left leg is going to come into your right. Big toes together, heels an inch from the ground, coming into chair pose, Utkatasana. So your chest is up, your weight is in your heels. Think about lifting up your toes. And we're gonna sink even deeper, feeling the heat build. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, come halfway up. We do this in our good morning stretch. So halfway up, so we're 90 degrees. We're gonna bring airplane arms. Option here to move your feet so they're parallel if that feels more comfortable in your hips. So airplane arms, You're gonna feel that stretch into the hamstrings. From here, we're just gonna lift onto one toe. Your right ankle is gonna lift off and then slowly lower. Left ankle comes off the ground and lower. One more each side. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower and forward fold. Slowly grounding into the ground. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bringing those palms into heart center, Samastitihi. We're coming into that other side. This time, right leg comes to chest. Grabbing behind your calf, rising through the crown of your head. Maybe untucking, ungripping your toes off the earth. Your left arm is going to stay on that right shin, and you're going to open that right palm to the sky, to the side of the long edges of your mat. Can you stand even taller through your spine, using your obliques? Your gaze can be to that backhand or whatever feels good for your neck. Finding some comfort in this challenging balance twist. Shaking is normal. And slowly come back to center, finding that chair pose once again. Toes in, heels out, sink back in your chair. Bring your palms into heart center. From here, we have prepped our ankles. We're gonna hinge forward, keeping into our chair. We're gonna lift up our heels, just slightly, so much so that we can bring our heels in together. Balance is hard. Try not to let your ankles move away. Keep them strong. Hold in this toe squat. Breathe into it for 4. Hello, calves. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release. Hinge forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press into your feet, root to rise. Hands come up, maybe gazes at your palms. Inhale, exhale through heart center, Samastitihi. Beautiful. From here, we're gonna step to the widest part of our mat, coming into bear pose. So just like chair, our hips are gonna go back in space. This is already difficult, keeping a flat back, long neck, ears, and shoulders are away from your ears. Option 1, airplane arms, palms are down. Option 2, your hands come out to the side. Option 3, if you really want to challenge this morning, hands come out in front, sinking your butt back so it's parallel with your mat. Oh yes. Squeezing, you got it. Keeping the weight in your heels, powering into your quads. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Placing your hands on the ground, bring your heels in, and we're slowly gonna come all the way down onto our sit bones. Releasing. From here, you can place your feet on the ground, and you can just hug your legs by rolling your shoulder blades away from one another. And slowly releasing. Bring your palms behind you. Just use some windshield wipers. Release any tension in that lower back. Beautiful. From here, your right leg is going to go straight, left leg is going to come in. Option to stay here or option to cross your left foot over your right. Left palm comes behind you like your second spine. Inhale, right palm up to the sky. Exhale, twist your left side, either hooking or hugging your leg. Turning to the left side of your mat. Feeling this twist, sitting up tall through your spine. Breathing into your twist. I invite you to close your eyes or have a gaze slightly forward. Coming back to your intention. My confidence inspires others. Slowly moving back to center. This time you're going to bring your left leg in between on the inside of your leg. Left leg in. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, forward fold, but we're going to keep a flat back. So flat back, hinge forward. Option to double up your mat to put underneath your hips. If you're finding it's tough to keep a flat back. We're going to flex our right foot towards our face. And slowly, mindfully, palms face up. Let go of your back, rounding through. Still flexing into that right leg. Breathing into that back body. Slowly rising up mindfully. Using your hands to get there. We're going to open up into our hips. So bring your left hip at a 45-degree angle. And then your right leg is going to sweep behind you. So bring your right back foot so it's in line with your mat. And then that front foot is going to be in line with the short edges of your mat. So it's basically your knee, your foot is in line with your knee and your other toe. And we're just going to lean back from here, keeping both hips on the ground. You're just going to push that right hip forward. Squeezing into your glute, stretching into that hip, into that quad. Beautiful, and slowly release, coming into the other side. This time, left leg out, right leg in or crossing. Right hand behind you, tall spine. Inhale, rise your left leg up to the sky. Exhale, twist to the right side, either hooking or hugging that right leg. Your sit bone is tall. Option here to shut your eyes. Breathing into your twist. Starting to unwind from our practice today. Slowly coming back to center. Coming into Jai Shanchasana on the other side. So right leg inside of your left. Sitting up nice and tall. Option to tuck your mat behind you. Inhale, rise your roots of your tree up. Exhale, forward fold. Keeping a flat back. As you can see, I can't go forward that much. Still flexing into that left leg. Keeping strength. And when that feels complete, rounding and releasing, letting go. Palms are facing up, surrendering your back body. Letting your neck, your facial muscles relax here. Letting go of the effort. Bringing in ease throughout your body. Finding slowness for all of these last poses that we finish off for today. We have been in this forward fold, so using your arm strength to slowly come out, one vertebrae at a time. Stretching into those hips. So left leg is going to sweep back. So it's in line with the long edges of your mat. And And then my foot is also on the long edge of your mat, and then my knee is in front of me. 90-degree angles, and then I just lean back and press that left hip forward. You'll feel that stretch. You might need to change the angle. Stretching into that hip flexor, into that quad. Our lower body carries us throughout our day, so it's so important to get those extra quad stretch and hip flexor stretches when we can. Breathing. Slowly lifting that back knee up and bringing it forward. And we're going to come all the way down to our backs. From here, we're going to finish with a spinal twist. So bring your hips over to the right side, lifting your knees together, and then your knees are going to come over to the left side. Right arm could be in a cactus. If you find that you don't feel it enough, you can cross your right leg over your left. Or you can keep your knees together, whatever feels better. Your gaze can be over to the right side. We're going to be in these spinal twists for 40 seconds. Finding some ease in this opposition. Your knees don't have to be together. Just breathing into the leg. I invite you to shut your eyes for the remainder of the practice. Starting to turn your intention inwards. Being aware of the changes and the vibrations and the feeling that you have throughout your body. Come over to the other side, but please do it mindfully in your body, lifting one leg and then the other. Placing your feet on the ground before you lift your hips up and over to the left side. So you're already assisting with that twist. And then knees come into chest, then moving over to that right side of your mat. Your palm can be out to the side or in a cactus. And then your gaze can be wherever feels good, maybe in the opposition to that left side of your mat. Still breathing deeply in through your nose and out through your nose. Stretching throughout your full body this morning. Had some challenging movements, some heat up, fiery core and glute exercises. Strengthening into our ankles. If there's any more stretches, slowly coming back to center. If there's any other last stretches you'd like to do today, we're just going to make our way into our final relaxation position, coming into our Shavasana. Spreading your legs out wide, toes are flopped open, hands are taking up space beside you, palms facing up, surrendering into the earth, Licking your lips, releasing that breath. Feeling that calm, heavy, watery energy brush over your body. Let that calming energy move into gratefulness. Gratefulness for showing up for today's practice. To move your body and listen to what it called for. Let go, finding stillness. Awakening slowly, moving your fingers and toes, turning your head side to side. Option to take a big stretch up overhead, bring your hands and toes so they're pulling away from one another. And slowly rolling, bring your knees to chest, rocking over to one side. Using your top arm to push into the ground. Come take a comfortable seated position. Sitting up tall in wherever position feels good for you today. Your palms can stay rested on your knees, or you can bring them in Anjali Mudra to heart center. Taking a moment here to come back to your intention that you chose for today's class. So with all of this movement and energizing twists that we've done today, I invite you to bring that confidence, that passion, and spread it with the world. Be kind, be love, and share love. Bowing your head towards yourself, thanking you for showing up. Thank you so much for coming to today's practice. You're incredible and amazing. Namaste. Have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully you're feeling amazing. Please subscribe to this channel and let me know how it goes for you. Enjoy the day ahead.